But a lot of people, that's their story. Good times, Noodle Salad.
So we tried.
We tried.
We tried to do an episode.
We tried, and let me just break this down for you.
Oh shit!
Let me just break this down. It required a shot of pure vodka, and a mixed drink in a shaker cup,
Which is mostly
vodka.
alcohol.
And I don't drink like I used to, so it took that for me to kind of loosen up because when we started, I was saying words like correct.
Yes, absolutely.
Absolutely. I would never
correct.
I would never say I say absolutely in interviews to impress the interviewer.
Yeah. Can you I would say that again.
I would
No, say it as loud as you did the first time.
I would.
Okay. I might have.
Hello.
Yeah. All right, we're figuring it out. Dude, so we tried.
I'm gonna vape on the...
Try,
oh,
we try. Yeah.
I'm getting too close.
I
gotta find the right spot.
You just gotta like.
Is this good?
A fist away, they say on Rogan.
A fist away.
A fist away. So like fucking 5 inches.
Okay.
It took. We tried to record the first episode, and you were saying shit like, yes, absolutely. That, you know what? That you are absolutely correct. And you know what? Yeah, we gotta just talk.
I had my professional face on.
Yeah, dude,
that's
fuck
my,
that.
That's my review.
That's
time.
not what this is, dude. That's not what this is.
That's my review time vocal.
It's not what this fucking is. What this is me destroying the set. It's me destroying the set. Hold on. I gotta get comfortable now.
Yeah, get comfortable.
See, this is rolling.
See, I'm in the spot because my legs are nowhere near the table to bump and make a bunch of noise, I think.
Yeah, I'm fucking it all up.
Yeah,
like,
dude, I can hear everything you're doing right now. I heard everything.
I hear everything. Dude, so we tried to record a podcast and we fucked it up. I gotta get comfortable. I don't know what I'm doing. I think I'm good here.
What do you mean we tried?
We tried.
When? Just now?
Just now, yeah.
Oh,
we tried just now.
I thought you were
and we were
speaking
saying stupid shit like we're fucking professors. It's like, no, like the point of this podcast.
Let's be honest, I was, because I put on a blazer today and I felt like I was the shit. I'm officially a composer now. And so I was speaking as if I was some scholar.
I gotta turn you up, I think.
Do you? Oh, man, that might be dangerous.
What direction do I go?
Hello. Right. Right is up. Hello. Oh, I hear it. Oh, that's great.
Were you not
That
hearing yourself?
I didn't hear myself at all. Yeah.
Okay.
Dude.
Yeah.
I have a hard. I don't know.
It's
just
it's beginning the process, man. It's like we've been wanting to do that. We recorded one episode of a podcast in 2016 when we had a band with Matt called Intra, and we had a vlog and shit called Intramedia.
Yep.
And it started off with like just recording music. What are we doing with our gear? Doing vlogs, and then eventually we wanted to do a podcast that correlated with us writing music. And we had so much personal shit going. Each one of us was going through some shit. Like you were basically going through a divorce.
Yes.
I was in an unhealthy relationship with my ex and trying to raise kids. And then Matt had his own shit going on. Yes. So like to be like, try to be creative and create something while you're in all this personal turmoil. It's just impossible, man. And
yes.
So we recorded one episode and it was like a half hour long. And we were like, this is so odd. Like I was playing radio host. All right, guys, so we're gonna watch this. It's a fucking why, dude.
It was super awkward.
Yeah, it's and we're gonna have to get over that too.
Yeah.
That's why we stopped recording the first episode.
Like awkward
cut this
is
off,
okay. First of all,
went and did a shot.
Awkward is okay.
Awkward's okay, but like trying to pretend to be like super professional is dumb as fuck.
It's hard. It's hard to not sometimes. For
me. We literally stopped recording, reset, went out of the studio, went and did a shot, and we made a couple of fucking Sex on the Beaches.
Hell yeah.
We did a shot of vodka. We made a couple of Sex on the Beaches, which are super fucking strong.
They're really good though.
and
They're
now
super
we're
good.
starting over because the idea
And it's in a shaker cup, so in psychologically, I'm like, this is healthy.
It's not. It's
I'm like,
poison.
oh, this is
it's poison.
This it actually kind of tastes like I had like a creatine drink that tasted very much like this.
That's BCAAs for sure. That's what
Maybe
in
it
there.
is. I
That's
don't know.
BCAAs.
I don't know
No,
what I'm talking
it's
about.
fucking Kirkland vodka. I got a gallon of it for $3. I got a gallon of Kirkland vodka for $3.
Props
dude.
to Kirkland. Props to Kirkland. Is it? That's recording, right?
Yeah, it's
Okay.
going. Definitely don't look at the camera. That's awkward.
Well,
But it is recording. Yeah, that's why it's flashing red.
Okay.
It
That's what
doesn't
that
flash red when it's off.
I was just hoping that wasn't warning us.
Dude,
that the
so
battery was dying.
that's my girlfriend's GoPro.
Yeah.
And I was like, oh, fucking perfect. You know, you got a GoPro. We can use that to start off with until we can whatever.
Yeah.
You know, because this is going to be a process of like piecing together the equipment we need to do the podcast forever.
Yeah.
Right. And so I recorded, she had shit on there. She had just videos recorded on there from a few years ago.
Yeah.
And so I recorded like a 2-second video to make sure that the SD card was still accepting new data, you know. And so I recorded like a fucking 2-second video of the desk and put it, and then like, like record. All right, now end recording. And then like I went to the files to play it. And of course, like I go on the files and the first thing I see is like her ex-boyfriend shirtless and laying in her bed. And like it was like a tester video that she did.
Wow, way to open up this podcast.
Dude. I was like, of course I would see that, dude. Like the one thing I don't want to see, it's like, of course I would see that. But like, and I was like I was laughing about it, like telling her like, dude,
Yeah.
of course I fucking saw
That's okay.
the one thing I don't want to see, which is
Yeah.
like, your ex or whatever.
Yeah.
But it doesn't matter, dude. We're fucking, we've been together for years now. So
Yeah.
it's just funny that like this fucking GoPro has been
It's weird.
dormant in a closet.
You know what's funny
for
though
fucking
is
years.
Let's talk about that a little bit. It's weird how it is kind of weird how when you're with someone and those things come up, especially at my age, because well, even your age, but like especially my age, because a lot of the women I've talked to are slightly older than me, so it's even more extreme. Like their kids are already like graduating high school, and the issue is that you're now experiencing you're trying to establish a relationship with someone who already has an entire life. Their kids already have established lives, and it's very, very, very bizarre.
It's weird,
very
right?
bizarre.
Like-
Well, I was talking to someone on Tinder, and she was a great lady, great person. I liked everything about her.
Yeah.
And she was my type, like to a T. Like, and I never thought I had
We
a type.
matched with a couple of the same chicks when we were dating, like when we were both dating.
Yeah.
Do you remember that really hot goth chick with the fucked up teeth, but she had huge tits?
Wow, dude.
You remember that chick? She was so hot.
I don't remember.
She had bad
Honestly, I don't
teeth.
remember.
She had beaver teeth, dude. She had beaver teeth.
I don't
But she
remember.
was funny as fuck. And like, you sent me a screenshot of her, and I was like, no way, I'm talking to the same girl.
Oh shit.
Do you remember that?
I
don't remember her name.
vaguely, but also I was like on and off Tinder for like my whole life. So,
Yeah. Dude,
since it's my whole life. Well, since when did I get divorced?
17.
Yeah, when I got divorced in 17, I think. So it's been about 7 years, 8
It's
years.
so weird.
On and off. But
Like-
I don't like it. I don't like
Yeah.
dating apps. I think it's a pain in the ass. I think. Okay, so going back to what I was saying is that I feel like when you meet someone who's already got this established life, the only way you can connect is like, all right, well, add my Facebook. Like, we've been talking for weeks. And it's like, all right, cool, you know?
Yeah.
Yeah, that's cool. And then you add their Facebook and you're like, oh, that's 20 years of their marriage.
Yeah.
And you're like, dude, I
it's
can't
weird,
do that.
Right? Like it
Freaked me out. And I even like,
I have a
so-
hard time. I feel
Yeah.
very secure in my relationship with my girlfriend. I adore my girlfriend.
Yeah.
She's the most rock solid person, stable
Yes.
person I've ever met in my life.
Yeah.
But like she'll like go on Snapchat and be like, "Oh, look at this memory," and like for whatever reason, it just like sparks something in me where I'm like, "I don't want to fucking see this. I don't want to see you have fun 3 years ago, like because you were somebody else's girlfriend then. I don't want to see you have fun then.
What is that?
I don't understand.
What is that
I
psychologically?
adore her as a person, but like even if it has nothing to do with another
Yeah.
guy, I'm just like I don't want to see that because I was like we weren't a thing yet,
Yeah.
so I don't want to see you have fun.
I don't want to know that you had a life before me.
I don't want to know that you had fun before me, dude.
You were
Like,
just a worthless beggar before I came into your life.
I don't.
No,
I don't.
I'm kidding.
No, and like that's been like an argument that we've had a few
Yeah.
times where it's like, I'm sorry, like like, you know, like she'll show me shit and be like, oh, look at this video of like me and my friend who I'm now friends with, and I'm like, fucking dude, your friend was friends with you when you were dating someone else. Like, fuck your friend. Like, fuck you, dude. Like,
Yeah,
you're
that's
not
so weird.
Like,
Well, that's weird.
You know, I
Yeah.
don't really think
No, I
like
get it.
that, but it is
My
hard
first
to
experience of that
look
is
at
when
videos.
me and my ex-wife first started dating.
Yeah,
By the way, no name dropping, please.
yeah, we're gonna try to do that. It's hard.
When I was with my ex-wife, now mind you, I was a musician, she was a musician. We were in bands together. Like we had a really cool history,
You're
and it
talking
was just
to me, not the camera. Just
it was I'm just zoning out, dude.
Yeah, no, I know.
Let me have my moment,
Sorry,
okay?
I don't mean to
let me
interrupt
have my
your-
moment.
I didn't
know.
mean to interrupt your stream.
I'm
of
gonna just let everybody
consciousness.
know on this podcast. Let me preface this. Matt has control issues, and that's okay.
I do. I'm not a control freak. Why does everyone
Matt has
say that?
control issues, and that's okay. So we're gonna try to appease Matt while I have this conversation. I'm gonna look into his deep into his eye as he destroys. It's funny.
My set's falling apart.
It's always the guys with all the things that they have, all the things to say.
Oh, yeah.
It's the guys with all the things to say.
Dude,
I'm just kidding.
we're using a fucking card table,
I know. We
and
are.
this C
Hey, we
clamp
don't
is
need
not.
Hey, you're breaking the fourth wall here. No one needs to know that.
No one thinks that we're professionals.
Doesn't matter.
No one thinks that we're
Doesn't
okay. Hey,
matter.
Sebastian Maniscalco, fucking
Doesn't matter.
dude. It fucking doesn't matter. Oh, you
Doesn't.
swore. It doesn't matter.
Yeah.
There's 93 in the line.
All right.
So what about your ex-wife and how she
no.
painted her eyebrows on with a pencil?
Calm down. Come on, let's be nice here.
I'm still friends with her. I fucking
You still friends with her?
not really like
That
on
man-
Facebook.
That's not weird for
on
me.
Facebook. She's a good person.
And you're talking about like, oh, you dated someone else before. I'm
Dude,
angry.
she's not an enemy just because you guys didn't work out.
she
I've
was
known
never
her
been
since I was like
By the
13
way-
years old.
By the way, my divorce was amazing. It was easy.
Yeah.
We sat down and said, yeah, we shouldn't do this anymore.
Yeah, and it's like as healthy as it can be,
Yeah.
dude. Like most people, most people have divorces. They become enemies. They try to fuck each other over. Like, I'm gonna take the house. I'm gonna take this, and
Yeah.
I'm gonna take your pension, and I'm gonna take your retirement. I'm gonna take every penny you fucking have. Why, dude? Just because we didn't work out doesn't mean that we're enemies, man. And I didn't get divorced.
My only issue with anything.
But mine was about as toxic as it.
Oh, yours was.
Mine was about as toxic as it could have
Yours
been.
might as well have been.
Yeah,
You might as well have been a super successful individual who was going through a divorce.
Yeah,
Because it was that toxic.
yeah.
It was like, it's probably what big superstars go through.
It was awful. It was fucking awful. And like
Aside
all we
from
should have
like you having to
all
pay
we should have
alimony, but
done,
it's like almost that would have been easier.
all we should have done was like shake hands and walk away and be
Yeah.
like, "Hey, this isn't working." And it wasn't working for a long time.
Right.
But we wouldn't accept that, and we tried to like keep going and like and play house when we weren't in a relationship anymore, and it became this toxic environment for everybody,
Yeah.
man. It was fucking toxic for the family. It was toxic for me and her. It was toxic for the kids. Like, it was awful, dude. It was
Yeah.
hard. It's hard. It's hard. I was just talking to Stephanie and Paige about this. Like, dude, I look at me, like, I coached baseball for 5 years
Yeah.
when my son played. And the year that we won the championship was the last year I coached, and like the regional championship that we played.
Yeah.
And every picture and video from that time when we were playing the championship game, Elias is fucking zoned out, man. He's disconnected. He's, you know, it's like he's like a stoic face. He's got no expression. Even when we're taking pictures with the trophies, everybody put your trophy up in the air. Yeah, we did it.
Yeah.
He looks like
Yeah.
he's got this Dust Bowl smile. You
Well,
know? And it's like
there's a couple layers to that. I think that's just older sibling syndrome, because I was the same way.
a little bit, but it was now he is like. There's times where I get annoyed because I'm like, he's so goofy and fun. I'm
Yeah.
like, dude, fucking, it's
Yeah.
Tuesday at
Yeah.
8:00. Shut
Well,
up.
it's because you changed that. See, like what? Well, I don't want to get into that, but yes, it's because you made an effort,
Yeah,
which we know a lot about.
not a lot of people do.
Not a lot of people do.
Yeah. Dude, it's hard. It's hard to look back at that stuff and be
Yeah.
like, man, like my kid was 6 years old,
Yeah.
7 years old, 8 years old, and like the fucking wet dream of a kid who plays sports is to like win the regional championship, and we did, and he didn't. He
just didn't
it
care.
couldn't even make him crack a smile.
Yeah.
And I was telling my friend Stephanie, I'm like, dude, like we were on the way to these practices, on the way to these games. Like sometimes I was like, we were arguing, like me and my ex were arguing so bad where we're like screaming at each other in the car, and then we have to step out of the car and compartmentalize that we're arguing, but now we're at a place where we're supposed to be celebrating and like working.
Yeah.
So it's like, hey, everybody, what's up, kids? All right, we're going to work on grounders today. Everybody line up, pick a partner, line up. We're throwing grounders.
Yeah.
Throw halfway between you. And then Elias is like, dude, you guys were just saying shut the fuck up to each other, calling each other pieces of shit and whatever other insane things that we would say to each other because we're so miserable together.
Yeah.
You know? It's, I don't know, like, not that I want to talk about my ex all the time, but it is like, man, to go from from fucking 15 years old where we started our relationship to 28 years old when we broke up.
It's a long time.
13. It's in my entire adult life at the time.
Yeah.
Was trying to make a relationship work with somebody that like we were friends. We should have only ever been friends.
Yeah.
We didn't agree. Like I had fun with her, but I never agreed with her on any moral standpoint or life goal ever.
Yeah.
Like I never agreed with her on anything. Like I don't think cheating is okay. I don't think like stepping outside of your relationship is okay. I don't think prioritizing like how you feel over like how much money you make or like what you need to do for your family. I don't agree with any of that stuff that she, you know, she prioritizes how she feels over everything else. And just like standpoints like that like break down the relationship where it's like, okay, I had fun with this person when we were carefree and we had no responsibilities, but now we have kids and we have a house, we have bills, and it's like nothing's clean, everything's chaotic, everything's chaos, everything's hard.
Yeah.
You know.
Well,
it's crazy.
That's just what you went through is the standard toxic relationship cycle. There's nothing that you went through that was, I mean, even down to the very ending of your guys' relationship. All of it is what happens when you try to make it work and you know it's not going to.
Well, that's the thing is like
all of it.
You hear these guys say like steer your ship. It's like to have a successful relationship, you have to let go of control, not become controlling. And I became controlling, trying to make it work. And it's instead of just accepting that my ex is somebody that I was never going to agree with her choices and her moral compass, which is okay. Like it doesn't mean that she's inherently wrong.
Yeah.
It just means that it doesn't mean that she's inherently wrong for being different than I am.
Right.
But it was because we were in this relationship where we're a unit.
Yeah.
And I'm like, dude, what are you doing? Why are you doing this? And then I become somebody who's never okay with what she does, and then she feels controlled. And then what does she do? She takes back control by acting out of the relationship. She takes back control by doing things that are outside of the relationship, you know? I'm controlling every aspect of her. Clean the house, do this, do that. Don't work because it's cheaper. You would make less money than it would cost us in daycare.
Right.
So you stay home with the kids, and you clean the house, and you do this, and you do that. And then
by the way, these are all problems that I'm completely disconnected from. Because, I mean, I've seen you go through it, but, like, I don't have that experience. I don't have kids.
Well, but you don't.
I didn't have kids with my ex-wife.
You didn't have a family, and your wife was a professional.
Yeah.
And you were a professional.
Yeah.
So, like, you guys had a completely different relationship.
Yeah. It was,
where, like, you were able to trial run a marriage.
Yeah.
Where, from my perspective, I know I'm telling you about your marriage, but, like, from my perspective, you guys trial ran a marriage that you guys were best friends.
Yeah.
Then you started hooking up, then you, like, became a thing, got married, did, like, what you thought was the right moves.
Right.
And
it felt right. Don't always do what you think is right. It's not always right.
Yeah. Well, and then it turns out that, like, you guys should have been friends. And you should have never been married.
Yeah.
And that's okay. Like, but you guys did it in the most. Even though you guys hated each other at the beginning of the divorce, like you were like resentful of what happened, Because you felt like you were sold a bad bill, like you were sold a bad good. Like you're like, what? I signed up for life with you, and you don't want the things that I thought you wanted.
Yeah.
Like that's okay.
Yeah.
But
but
it still feels
it's
like
not
wasted
really
time.
that serious. It's literally like a band splitting up because of creative differences. That's exactly what it was like.
Yeah.
I mean, I was depressed only for the sake that I'm naturally depressed, sort of, in
Yeah.
my life, and then
And it's also grieving a loss.
it's grieving a loss. You definitely, it does feel.
People don't talk about
I've
grieving
had,
the end of a
I've
relationship.
had relationships after the fact that were way more hard on me. Like I had to be on meds. It was
Yeah.
that hard.
Yeah.
Which is crazy because it was never a good relationship.
And they were never as serious as
And they were-
being married and having a house together
Exactly.
and having everything
So,
intertwined with each other.
it was understood. That relationship was based a lot around logic, though. That was a very logical relationship. Everything was about, we got to do this, we got to do that.
You guys were solid.
We were solid, but
You were solid. You were
but when-
stable.
But when you
guys
realize you want completely different lives, it's like,
Yeah.
all right, well, let's be smart about this
Right.
and move on.
And then and I think that you started to realize that. I think you started to realize that, and then you started calling her out for things that you didn't approve of. Is not the right thing to say, but like you would like make fun of her for wanting things differently than you. You'd be like, "Fucking, you're gonna do Reiki? Like, what the fuck are you doing? You know, you're making.
By the
soap.
way, I still feel that way.
Oh, you're making fucking soap. Ooh,
Yeah.
You know what I mean?
No,
and, like, and it's like
no, no,
she
no.
just
By
had
the, by the
interest.
way, I never was like that with her. That's a totally misinterpretation of our situation. I was very supportive, even if I didn't understand or agree with
Oh,
everything.
well,
she
maybe
was
I'm
doing.
taking the way you would talk to me about it.
Well, I mean,
As the way that you
and-
would talk about it with
anybody
her.
when you're talking about something that's annoying, especially a huge breakup after being with someone for 10 years.
Yeah,
It's a long time, which you know.
yeah.
You tend to exaggerate your anger towards the situation, but I never.
Yeah,
really,
you speak in hyperbole. You make everything fucking.
Yeah, I
big.
catastrophize it. I make it.
Catastrophize it,
I made it extreme for sure,
Yeah.
but it wasn't. I
Yeah.
mean, like I literally have had the conversation. It has been so far the best relationship I ever had because it was like it was a true partnership in a lot of ways, but also sucked in a lot of ways. So
Yeah.
finding that balance of having that logic, that brain-driven relationship, but also having the heart. That's the key.
Dude,
I
and
never
that's where
had-
I-
we
that's
didn't-
where I feel
neither
like
one
I'm
of us
at.
really. A lot of us lost. Both of us lost the heart after a while.
That's how I feel. That I feel like I'm in that position with Paige.
Yeah.
Like it's so different. It's
Well-
so different.
Well, explain what you mean by that position, because you guys aren't on the outs, so could
No,
you,
and
yeah.
you said that like you had this brain-driven relationship without the heart.
Yeah.
I'm in this position where I'm like, I fucking adore Paige, man. I adore her.
Yeah.
Why am I tearing up? That's so gay.
Oh
No, I adore.
I quit. I
adore-
don't want to do this again. No, I'm kidding.
No, I adore who she is as a person, man. And
Yeah.
but we also have everything in common. You know what I mean? Like we have the same goals. We have I showed you our vision board, which like I thought you would make fun of me for, and you're like, dude, this is actually like inspiring and awesome. Like we have this
Why would you
vision.
let's talk about that.
Well, because I thought you would make fun of me for like having a fucking like the secret Rhonda Byrne fucking law of attraction vision board where it's like if it's in my mind it'll happen kind of deal. But like,
No. That's
but
the
like me and
worst.
Paige like had all of the same goals. Like we want a house. We want to build we want to grow a family together. We
Yeah.
want a vacation home. Like that's just buying stuff. But we also want to be creative. We want to create businesses.
Yeah.
Like we have these goals. We want to keep learning. We want to learn about other people. We want to learn
Yeah.
about new things. Like we're both like very knowledge driven, and it's so different. Like to be with somebody that, just to give a random example, man. Like we were cleaning the house yesterday, and I was playing NPR Tiny Desk concerts.
Yeah.
And this small underground artist came on, and I was like, oh, she might not like this because it's kind of quirky and weird. And I went and I changed it, and she was like, hey, I was singing along to that. I'm like, well, you know them? And she's like, yeah, fucking. She's like, you want to see my music history? I have like 14 of their albums downloaded. I'm like, you know what I mean? And it's like we've been dating for years, and it's like, holy crap! Like we have so much in common. It's insane.
Yeah.
But like, so just having stuff in common, but then having the same moral compass, having the same goals
Yeah.
is my God.
Moral
it's so
compass
different.
is a big one.
It's
That's a very
so
tough
different,
one.
man.
Because after my 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 divorce, I would say the moral standard had dropped significantly. Not for myself, but everybody. I realized that. Well, I mean, this also could be an age thing, but I started dating people. I have only dated people relatively younger than me.
Yeah.
Except for one.
Well,
exception,
most people
and
on
that was
Earth
the
are
worst.
younger than you.
That's true. That is true. I
Just
look
kidding.
good for my age. I'm actually 900 years old.
You're fucking Moses over here.
Yeah, I feel like Moses. I'm actually starting to look really old. I noticed that. We just talked about that, but I don't want to derail. Hold on, let me finish this thought.
You're rubbing the tablecloth when you rock.
Oh, you can't hear it in the thing.
Okay.
Yeah. Hold on. Oh my God, I'm losing my train of thought. So yeah. In this day and age, the moral value, when you want to take a relationship seriously, is kind of. We live in a world where there's no. People kind of have let go. When you let go of expectations a lot, and I feel like a lot of people have, when they have, the younger generation especially, lives in this really free kind of hippie-esque, like I'm gonna do what I want, but it doesn't mean I don't love you or I don't care for you, and I like that to an extent, but I also am a logical kind of cerebral individual, in the sense that, now mind you, I am very creative and also very sensitive, but I can be cerebral. If I were to go in a relationship and they were like, hey, look, I don't want to be tied down, but we liked each other enough that didn't matter.
Mm-hmm.
Okay. It's when you get in a relationship and then you're like, yeah, I don't know, I'm going to go hang out with this dude instead. And this is like 3 months in, you're like, all right, that's cool.
And the agreement is that you're exclusive to each other, so
Yeah,
you're surprised by that.
Surprised? No, not surprised, because you kind of realize like that's just how it is now.
With certain people, it's
But-
not like
No, not generally.
like exclusivity was in the forefront of my relationship. It's always been
Yeah,
that, hey, I'm serious about you. And
yeah,
let's make it
for sure.
serious.
And I'm the same way, but finding someone.
I'm sure that was quiet.
It was interesting. Finding someone that has similar morale, morale isn't even the right word. I don't know what you call it. Just a similar outlook on life.
Just like a similar compass.
It's
like,
super difficult. It's just difficult
yeah.
because I'm open to a lot of things. I'm a very understanding individual, but I hate a lot of things about people, and not like hate like in the sense that I can't stand. I'm not. It's not a condition for me to be around you, or around certain people, or even date certain people. I'm very forgiving in that way, or understanding is the right word.
Yeah.
But my problem is that there does come a point where you meet a crossroads and you go, my threshold has been reached. I'm sorry.
Yeah.
And that's how every relationship has ended. And
Dude, I was just thinking about this Malcolm Gladwell book where he's talking about Nazis and how like day one of being a Nazi is not like, hey, you're gonna take Jews to the furnace, right? But it was like, hey, I'm gonna push you an inch outside of your comfort zone, and then I'm gonna push you an inch outside of your comfort zone, and then I'm gonna push you an inch outside your comfort zone, and then all of a sudden, like, years go by, and you're like, I don't even know who I am anymore.
Yeah.
I'm doing things that are insane.
Yeah.
And like, not to compare your exes to Nazis, dude, but like, when you're in a relationship.
No, it's
when you're in a relationship where
they try to create monsters.
when
they
you're
want
in
to
a
create a
relation-
monster.
when you're in a relationship,
Yeah.
and somebody kind of pushes you outside of where
Yeah.
you want to be, and then pushes you a little bit outside
Yeah,
of where you want
I've
to be.
dated a lot of Amber Heards, if you'd like.
Yeah.
And thank God I've gotten out, and thank God I'm not that successful, because
Yeah. Dude,
that
yeah.
would have
Can
been.
you imagine how much money he's lost? Like, I bet it's a calculable number. Where if you
Yeah.
say like, these Pirates of the Caribbean movies were going to be made, and they removed him from them.
Right.
Like, how much money has he lost? These movies that like hundreds of millions of dollars they gross, and he's the main source of that attraction. I mean, a major source of the attraction to that
Yeah.
movie is his character, God, imagine how much money he's lost.
I don't know how you get in I can't get in a relationship as a guy who barely makes 6 figures a year. I can't imagine if you made 8 figures, 9 figures a year.
It's insane. Well,
I mean, how do you
get into a healthy relationship? You're saying
you don't.
Yeah.
You can't get into. It's hard to get into one unless you're like a religious person.
I don't know.
And
I don't know if that's true. You know, I started to feel like
the
that.
Sweet down country girl
I started
or whatever.
to feel like that, dude. Like when me and my ex first started, me and my ex first split up, and some time had gone by, and I started dating.
Yeah.
I was like, dude, what the like? Oh my god! Like we have nicknames for all these chicks. There's like.
Yeah, I don't want to. Let's not put it.
Cousin Pitt.
Yeah.
No, dude, whatever. Cousin Pitts.
Oh.
Cousin Pitts, the bald chick with armpit hair.
Yeah.
Trash Bag, the chick from Flint.
Yeah.
I mean, God, you know, I like these chicks that I dated that were like so like. I thought they were so different than I am. It was like they were caricatures. It's like, hold on. I ask you to clean it up, you know, because I don't personally like body hair, and she tells me I'm attracted to prepubescent girls. She tells me I'm a pedophile because I want her to be shaved.
Man,
it's like I'm attracted to traditional women. I'm sorry, like I'm attracted to your personality, but I'm not attracted to body hair and. You know what I mean? Like, so to be to be told that I'm a pedophile because I want my girlfriend to not have like a happy trail, I'm like, hey, like, and I was so delicate about bringing it up, like, the content of saying that is offensive by itself. I understand that. Like, hey, I need you to change something about you, but like,
it's like, hey, I know.
But like, dude, to be like, dude, like, you know, hey, I know that this is your normal, and I don't want you to feel judged, or I don't want you to project anything that you think I'm going through based on this conversation. But I'm attracted to certain types, and I've always dated certain types, and could we try a compromise? And then it's like, you should be hyping me up. You shouldn't be judging me. I feel fucking judged.
Well,
and you're like,
that's your
what?
fault.
I was
totally. By the way, all of that is your fault.
I shouldn't have dated someone that was too different.
Yeah.
Too different for me to cope with that.
You went far left with that one.
Yeah, she was interesting. I enjoyed talking to her.
She's probably cool, creative, awesome.
She's very creative, very interesting person. I really liked her as a person.
There's nothing wrong with it.
But it just like physically, like it was like hard for me to get. You know.
And physically, it's making me ill just thinking about it.
Dude, oh my god, some of the shit that my Adam, one of my best friends, man, we were working together when that whole relationship happened, and Jesus, like some of the shit he would say, he's like, hey, you got a little hair in your teeth, like just like shit like that, like shut the fuck up, dude, like stop, you know. But that's why I like, not to like keep riding Paige's dick, but like, man, like when I met her, I'd gone through like a year and a half of like dating people where it's just like there's just like something off. Yeah. We're like gears that are like one tooth off, right? And it's like, what the fuck? Like something's not jiving here. Something's not
for sure.
That's it's dating. Almost it's like completely good, but it's like not good.
Right.
And then I meet Paige, and we go on this 20-hour. First of all, dude, I was shopping for cars when we met. So I had my motorcycle only, and we met in February in Michigan. So I rode. You went with me to get my motorcycle from my ex's house.
Yeah.
We rode my motorcycle. I rode my motorcycle from where my ex lives to where Paige lived.
Yeah.
In February.
Yeah, I remember.
And I stopped, dude, on the way there.
I remember you like putting layers of like snow, like it was like a snowsuit.
Dude, I had a snowsuit. I had like winter gloves on. I had a hoodie and a coat and a vest. And like a neck gaiter
for the viewers, I'm not a motorcycle enthusiast, so me trying. He wasn't. Well, not to get into details.
Yeah,
but
you don't need to share all that.
Yeah. Basically, I had to get the bike and get it somewhere in vicinity for him to grab. Essentially.
Yeah.
That's a long story that you don't need to know, but I'm not a bike enthusiast. So then, of course, he takes a Snapchat or something or video of me.
Yeah, because you were like you couldn't move the bike.
I had no idea
what the fuck to do.
How to turn it around,
which was hilarious.
Like we were it wasn't.
And you were in an icy driveway, so you're like trying not to drop my motorcycle.
Yeah, it was so. I'll never
Hilarious.
help you again. Ever.
Dude, so whatever. So we leave that. You give me winter gloves out of your car because all I had with me was like regular riding gloves.
Yeah, I think you gave them back to me because I still have them somehow.
Yeah, I gave them back.
Okay. Good.
But so like I take your winter gloves. I have a neck gaiter on. I have a hoodie. I have a coat. I have a vest.
Yeah.
I have snow pants on. I look like fucking Ralphie from A Christmas Story.
100%.
Like I'm layered up. I can barely move.
Yeah.
And I ride a half hour from my ex's house to this girl's house because we're gonna go on our first date. And on the way there, I stopped at a liquor store to like strip down so I didn't look so stupid when I showed up.
Yeah.
I didn't want to show up looking like Ralphie and like tip over and get stuck like a turtle, you know. So like I stopped at a liquor store to strip down. I took off like my vest and my jacket, my hoodie, and my snow pants. I tucked it all into the saddlebag, and then because I was at this liquor store, I was like, I gotta get her something. Like if I had driven, I would have gotten her flowers or something.
Yeah.
But like I had my bike, so I'm like, what the fuck am I gonna get? So I go into this liquor store, and I'm looking around, and this liquor store has like liquor. It's fully stocked, but then the shelves are like random bullshit, and like there's like feet of separation of nothing on the shelves.
Mm-hmm.
So I'm like, okay, they got Pam and like fucking yakisoba, fucking ramen, and like random bullshit that like I'm like doing circles. I don't know. And then I see that they have like a little shelf right by the door, and they have like name branded liquor store beanies and T-shirts. I'm like, I'll get her a beanie, I guess. Like that's kind of funny. To get her like this local lake, you know, like everyone knows that liquor store. It's a liquor store that's right on the lake. So you like, so I get her the beanie that's branded for that liquor store, and then so with my like now I just have like my hoodie and my jeans on. I look, you know, now I look like my regular self.
Yeah.
I roll up to her apartment, and I like take my helmet off and I'm stripping down whatever, and we meet at her front door, and she has a Google like a doorbell.
Yeah.
And so she opens up the door, and I'm like even though I had all those layers on, I'm like frozen to the bone. Like I'm so fucking cold.
Yeah.
And she opens up the door, and she's like, "You rode your motorcycle here?" And I like did this like awkward ass like dance, like, "Ooh, I'm shaking off the cold." And her camera catches her face going like, as soon as I turned around to like take my jacket off or something, her camera catches her making this like, what the fuck face. Dude, we watched it back like a month later. We were laughing so fucking hard. But so like we met, and it was like we had this like 20-hour first date.
Yeah.
Like we met, we were like, oh, let's go get something to eat. So we jumped in her car because she wasn't gonna ride my motorcycle. And so we jumped in her car and we go out to eat, and we're like, we eat and we talk, and we're like instantly click, like we're best friends. That like we had been talking for a couple of months, but then meeting in person, it was like we were fucking. It was like we were best friends that like never met in. I don't know. It was just instant.
Yeah.
So we go out to eat, and we like go shopping. We do all this stuff, and then we end up going to the Legion, and like the Legion was like open to the public where we were at. So like a bunch of her friends showed up, a couple of her family members showed up, and all of a sudden there's like fucking 10 people at the bar with us, and we're like blackout drunk, like having a blast, just talking shit and dancing and stuff. And we go back to her place and we go to bed. We're like, well, at first we're like drunk dancing to like like Tennessee whiskey, like playing on the radio. And we go to bed, we go to sleep, and I get up in the morning. It's like, I don't know, it must have been during the week because we both had to go to work. So this must have been like a Wednesday or a Thursday or something. And like, I get up in the morning, I get on my bike, and the roads are just completely iced over. Like she starts pulling out in her Jeep, and she's like, dude, I don't know if I want to drive to work, you know?
Yeah.
And I'm like, there's no fucking way I can. Like, I can't even turn my bike around. It's so icy, you know?
Yeah.
And I was like, I don't know what the fuck I'm going to do. Like, what do? I call, like, one of my relatives to come grab me? You know, like, I'm not going to just, like, sit on her porch for 10 hours, you know, wait for the sun to come out and melt the ice, hopefully, you know? So, like, she leaves, and I'm, like, trying to figure out what I'm going to do. So I call I call her eventually, and I'm like, hey, I don't know what to do. Like, I can't leave. Like, it's way too icy. It's way too dangerous for me to try to ride my bike anywhere. I think I rode like 3 houses down and turned around and rode back. And so she's like, oh, I have a spare key hidden in this spot. I'm like, you're gonna let me hang out in your house? And she's like, should I not? And I was like, well, like, dude, like, we met last night, you know, like, I'm gonna hang out in your house all day while you're at work, like, you know, what the, like, fucking thank you, but, like, also, I'm like, I like, should I not let you do this? Like, it seems like a fucking weird choice, you know? Let a stranger hang out in your house all day? So she let me hang out, like, she let me go into her house, and, I felt guilty, you know, like that typical Christian guilt of, like, someone's doing me a very minor favor, so I need to repay it. So I cleaned her house the entire day. I cleaned for 8 hours. I fucking organized her silverware. I organized her, like, closets. I cleaned everything. I disinfected everything. Like, her fucking... Dude.
What?
She was like... I was
really hoping this was going to, like, turn into some big epic story.
This is the story. Because it's cringy to me now.
Yeah.
It's like, I didn't know what to do. I wasn't gonna like watch TV for 8 hours, just like sitting on her couch.
Yeah, that's fair.
And I was stuck. I'm like, what am I gonna do? What am I gonna do?
Right.
Well, so I called first thing I called my foreman. I was like, dude, it's too icy. I can't get to work.
Yeah.
He's like, why the fuck are you even calling me, dude? I know you're riding a bike right now.
Yeah.
Like, yeah, I'll see you fucking tomorrow, or maybe not. He's like, don't worry about it. Dude, don't get killed trying to get here. I appreciate you. You know. And then I go back, and then she tells me where the keys at. I go into her house, and I'm sending her Snapchats, and I'm literally like walking in circles like a fucking Dalmatian, like up and down the fence line, not knowing what the fuck to do. So I cleaned her house.
Yeah.
I cleaned her house for the whole day. And I was sending her Snapchats and like text messages the whole time, so I was like, hopefully this doesn't come off like super weird, but I gotta do something. And she's like, oh, actually, I've been meaning to whatever. So it's like, fucking, dude, I'm going in your closet. I'm fucking cleaning your closet out, you know?
Yeah.
And she came home, she's like, my house is like a museum. She's like, this is awesome, you know? She's like, also, it's the fucking weirdest thing of all time, but it's, you know.
That's cool, man.
It's fucking hilarious.
Yeah.
And, like, we joke about it now, because, like, now it's, like, we've been together long enough to, like, she knows I'm not a clean freak like that. But, like, I kind of gave off, like, a false, you know, reading of, like, how I am. Because I didn't know what to do, so I cleaned all day. But, like,
yeah.
Now she'll be cleaning. I'm like fucking watching Big Bang Theory. I'm not getting up. Fuck you. Like, I love you, but I'm not cleaning right now. I'm feet are up. I'm watching TV. I worked all day.
Yeah.
You know, so like she like obviously like we're in a normal relationship now, but dude, that's so cringy to think back to.
I don't think it's cringy. Cringy is a strong word. I was just joking because I was like, that is not the direction. And then I cleaned her house.
Dude,
I'm like, what?
For the entire day. You gotta understand, like 8 hours, like 8, 9, 10 hours that she was gone.
It's not cringy. It's just it's a huge letdown. Thank you for telling that story.
Yeah.
I'm just kidding.
Yeah.
That's awesome. Yeah. You guys definitely have like leveled out a bit, which is awesome. Thank God, because yeah, it was kind of gross in the beginning. It always is though. New relationship and that puppy love stage sucks. It's for everyone else.
I'm
by the
still
way.
like that, dude. I'm so in love with her. Like she's
no one cares.
I am, man.
I think she's great. You guys are great together. I'm really happy for you. And
No,
it's
but, like,
I'm not
such a
speaking from a
toxic-
place of bitterness because I really don't have bitterness, as you know. I've
To
been
look at it in the
single
veil
for
of
over a year now, and it's been fantastic.
to look at it in the veil of like I was so miserable for so long because I was like trying to force something that isn't ever gonna work to work.
Yeah.
And then to be in a relationship with someone that like I fucking adore.
Yeah.
Like at the fucking cellular level, you know, like I'm like this is my person, man. This is like this is everything I've ever wanted in a person. Everything. To go from one extreme to the other extreme is like, holy shit! I didn't know that existed. I don't know. I think it's more exciting to bitch and moan about something that doesn't work than to be like I'm grateful for finding something that does work. But man, I mean like
that is I've been thinking a lot about this lately, and I think we need to transition that kind of topic because I think that's great. Is how people don't like when other people are doing well. I think we need to talk a little bit about that. And it's not a specific topic. It's not about anybody or any certain thing specifically, but I just realized there's a lot of do-nothing people. There's a lot of people that
Dude,
have
Ronda
that
Rousey
same-
used to say that all the time. I don't know if you were a fan of UFC back then.
No,
but
I'm definitely a fan of
Ronda Rousey
Shout
used to
out.
say, "I'm not no do nothing bitch.
Yeah.
I'm not a do nothing bitch,"
Yeah,
and I
yeah.
fucking love that because
Yeah.
like there's so many. Well, not only girls, but like there's so many people who are like their
people
whole
in general.
personality is just being like attractive,
Yeah.
and it's like, what do you do?
Yeah.
What do you do?
Yeah.
You're just attractive. Who gives a fuck? There's
Yeah.
there's everything from
I
fucking
know this-
restaurant hostesses all the way up to physicists that are attractive. Like,
Yeah.
who gives a fuck?
Yeah,
You're
you just-
attractive.
you just look a certain
That's your
way.
only thing.
Yeah.
You're a do nothing bitch, dude. I used to joke
Yeah.
about that all the time because back then when we were going to that gym together in Roseville, we would. That was the time period where like she was going viral for being like, I don't want to be no do nothing bitch, and like I was dating and like talking to a bunch of chicks trying to figure out what the kind of person I wanted to date.
Yeah.
You went on a first date with me. Do you remember that? With the pregnant chick.
Oh my God. Let's not. Dude.
You, your wife, and Christina went on a first date with me with a pregnant chick.
By the way, her husband was in the army at the time.
No, you fucked up.
Is
the
that
whole
not true?
You fucked up the
Did
story.
I ruin it for you?
If I was gonna tell the story, you fucked it up.
Well-
you gave away the ending. Fucking.
Yeah,
quick
but I want to skip
Tarantino.
over this.
Yeah. But like, dude, so like.
I mean, we can talk a little bit.
But
about
man, I mean, like, so she was going. So Ronda Rousey was going viral at the time for saying like, "I'm not a do nothing bitch."
Yeah.
My mom always told me not to be a do nothing bitch, and I was like, "Dude, that is such a perfect way to say like all these girls." Who I'm like, "What? You're just attractive. You're
Yeah.
not funny. You're not career driven. You're not like fun necessarily to be around.
Yeah.
You're literally just like duck lips, fucking attractive on Instagram. Like,
Yeah.
who gives a fuck? That's your value, man."
That's all right.
Like,
though.
dude, I want someone I can talk about, talk with,
Yeah.
talk about books and like, and what goals do I have, man? I like.
I mean, yeah. Yeah.
It's crazy that the currency, like,
I'm
you
gonna
have
be
to
real
read
with
through
you,
the
though.
currency of
There's-
like, I'm just attractive.
There's a good handful of people, though. A huge. I don't know. It seems like in my personal life, and maybe it's just the people I've surrounded myself with over the last 20 years. But man, aside from like my real close friends, like real like last 20 years friends,
Yeah,
a lot of people I've hung out with, man, they live in the world of the superficial.
yeah.
I mean, I've met the worst people ever that were pretty girls that my friends are like
Obsessed
still
with.
talk about today, and I'm like, shut up,
Yeah.
they suck. You suck, and you know who you are. You suck.
I have to pee so bad. I
Go
have to pee.
ahead, do your thing.
Oh, I'll be right back. I'm not gonna pause anything because it'll just be a pain in the ass.
Yeah, we can cut it. We can clip it out later.
Yeah. Oh god, I'm drunk. Holy shit. Take a few big drinks.
I feel fine. Well, you slammed a lot of yours though. You want to check while you're up, you want to check the camera, make sure it's still got recording time on it.
It's gone. Yeah, it's fine. We had a lot of time on it.
Oh, do we? Okay.
Yeah, I don't want to touch it and change the angle or anything.
No, I understood.
I don't want to bump it and then it looks
Yeah.
different or whatever. You know.
Yeah, so I mean, there is a lot of do nothing individuals, and it's not just pretty girls. I've got a lot of really creative, interesting, talented musician friends or talented artist
That do
friends.
nothing with it.
Do nothing,
Oh my
and
god.
then
We've had this talk.
you know how I want to just throw this out there because this isn't even about creativity.
Yeah.
Also, it literally is such a wide spectrum of do nothing motherfuckers.
Yeah.
When I moved to Orlando, to take a position at a big, huge company, I took a huge pay cut to go there, but I thought it was a great opportunity. It ended up not being. I was only down there 9 months, and then came back and made way more money than I ever had, which was awesome. But it doesn't matter. The point is that when I was down there, do you know how many people were like self-reflecting because all I did was move to Orlando? I took a huge pay cut, took a huge risk, something that like is
Most people don't do that.
it's crazy to do that.
Yeah.
I mean, I even look back and go, I lost easily 20, well, probably 50 grand that year.
$50 grand.
Between
easy.
taking the equity out of your house,
Oh my God,
moving
everything.
down there, buying everything,
I needed,
and then selling everything,
and then also making
and starting
$10 less an hour. I was
Yeah.
hourly, but yes, $10 less an hour.
Yeah. It was
Holy
huge,
cow, it was
yeah.
stupid, but it was fun.
It might not have
In
been
retrospect.
if you were happy in Orlando. That's the biggest
Yeah.
thing. It might not have been. It could have been a good place to be if
I
you
loved
were
Orlando.
happy.
I was unhappy because I think if I had a roommate where the bills weren't so tight, because I was making
That
shit
wasn't
money.
even the problem. That wasn't
Yeah.
the problem. The problem was that you were down there alone.
Well, yeah, I was
And that
alone.
you-
alone.
and
I was
so,
making
like,
like
the
random
only
musician
thing-
friends. Yeah,
The only thing
which
that
they're
you were
still
doing-
cool people, but
The only thing that you were getting value out of was your work. You didn't have a life outside of your work. Like, you would call me and be like, I don't know, I'm going for a walk today. I got to do something.
yeah.
And like, I remember.
Well, that's not entirely
I remember
true. I
one
did
time
jam.
you-
I did meet a lot of musicians. I was playing with a lot of musicians down there. That is true.
That's fine, but like to have
But that's it.
valuable
That's all-
relationships,
that I did not have down
to
there.
have like a real relationship
Yeah.
with people that are bringing value to your life outside of work, you did not have. That.
No, I didn't have.
If
it
you
all.
had that and you were like, dude, I have to just serve my time at this company to get to a place, it would have been a good. It was a good
I
opportunity,
love Florida.
but it didn't work.
I love
and that's
Orlando.
okay.
Yeah, it would have been great.
Yeah.
I agree with that. I guess what I'm saying is, yeah, it wasn't just the money,
Yeah.
because I don't know, because like you're starting over. So like, what are you gonna do? You're not gonna find the relationships you've had for 20 years.
No,
it's
and
hard.
loyalty builds in time.
Oh,
man.
it takes
And,
so
like,
long. It takes a
to
lot
be
of
fair,
fights.
I mean,
It takes a lot
we've
of
been friends with
arguments.
Jake and Scotty for fucking 20 years. And it's like I love those guys, and
Yeah.
like, like, you're not gonna find relationships and friendships like that at a superficial level in 6, 8, 10 months. It's not gonna
Yeah.
happen, man.
I mean, I don't really talk to those guys that often, but we have
Yeah,
completely
but
different lives.
We're
and
fucking. We're adults, man.
Yeah.
We have
the
like.
tr-
It's hard for me and you to get together. This is
Right.
like we're doing this is going to be every other Sunday because
Yeah.
of our schedules.
yeah.
And we're brothers, so like getting together with like guys that we've been friends with for 20 years. I'm sorry, man. I'll see you in fucking April. It's just what it is.
Yeah, I mean, yeah. Well, there's a lot to that though. There's layers to that.
Yeah.
That I don't know that I want to go into.
No, I mean you don't have to break down like your friendships and stuff. Like everybody's got drama in their relationships, regardless of what kind of relationship it is.
Right.
But that's what I'm saying is like the kind of loyalty that comes along with being friends with people for the majority of your life. I mean, you've known those guys since you were 17 years old. So
Well, Scotty, yes.
so
Actually,
20
younger
years.
than that. He went to my high school.
so 20 years. I mean, 20 years you've known him.
Yeah.
So it's
He's a
like,
good guy. He's a good guy, though. I mean,
Yeah.
some of the other friends I made along the way, I don't really talk to, and it's not because they're bad guys or whatever. We just had, it's one of those creative differences thing too. I've got a very strong personality. Out, when I'm loosey goosey and getting some drinks
Doesn't
on me,
matter.
and you know what I mean. So
Doesn't matter.
Not everybody's gonna like that.
I
So
can't like
after-
if you counted up the friendships and the relationships that I've gone through, acquaintances,
yeah,
partners at work, business partners, musician friends that I've tried
right,
to have.
same dude, same.
I mean, God, it's hundreds of people that I've gone through
yeah,
that like
at least.
where it's like, it's okay. Like it didn't work out, and that's okay. You know what I mean? Like, I fucking God, dude, when I think now when I'm thinking about Jake and Scotty, it's like I remember having Scotty work with us when we were flipping houses, like having Scotty work with us, and like I was so paranoid because of how difficult it was to be a business owner at 20 years old that like I remember like trying to call him out because I thought he was trying to rip us off, and I'm like, what am I doing, man? I fucking love Scotty, and I'm like thinking he's fucking me over. Why would Scotty fuck me over? He's a good guy, but when I was in the mindset of this business owner where I'm like everything is fucking hard.
Well, when
And
you're
everything was-
running a business, I mean, we were both trying to run a business together.
We're kids. Even you being 27 and me being 20, we were fucking kids. Like,
Well,
what
it was
were we doing?
difficult. There's a lot to that. Oh my God, there's so much.
Yeah.
We didn't know what we were doing. People we were hiring didn't know what to do. Like we were just winging it, and
Yeah.
we thought we could make it work, and we did. The thing is
We
don't-
accomplished
don't-
a lot for
we
having.
don't talk about the success of that.
Yeah.
We did it, And if we would have kept our attitudes in check and not burned bridges with people,
Yeah.
I mean, really, that situation between me and Scotty put a huge damper on our relationship for a while.
I'm sure it did.
And I paid him out of my pocket.
Yeah.
It had nothing to do with the money. It was me being his friend, treating him like shit.
Yeah.
I still, dude, you think I'm ever going to forget that?
Yeah. I feel bad. Like, I know, like, that's what I'm saying is, like, I felt so, like, when the dust settled, because the company went to shit, because of, like, we just couldn't handle it. It was too much, too fast.
Yeah.
Like, when we started that, our idea was to be, like, to start a maintenance company. Like, I don't know if you remember, the original idea behind that company was that we were going to call the company EMS. It was going to be Emergency Maintenance Services. And we were going to buy old fucking ambulances and make them our work trucks.
I remember this.
And that was the idea, is like, dude, we're going to, like, do a maintenance
Still
service.
a great idea.
We're going to do that. Yeah, it is. But we're going to do this maintenance service where we do, like, drywall repairs and, like, install faucets. Just stuff that doesn't take, like, it doesn't take a real plumber to put in a faucet.
Right.
You know what I mean? It doesn't take a real electrician to change out some fucking light fixtures.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? Like, and the idea was that, like, I had done apartment maintenance for a couple of years at that point, and you and I had worked on your house and worked on Dad's stuff and worked on my stuff, and you had enough mechanical ability to be like, yeah, dude, I can YouTube how to do wood floors and do a pretty decent job at it. You know what I mean? And, like, so we were confident enough to, like, start a small maintenance company, but then all of a sudden this fucking guy calls us and is like, hey, we're gonna flip a house.
Yeah.
And we're like, and then we go and look at that.
Roped in.
We go look at the
Like,
house.
yes,
It's the first job we ever had.
Yeah.
The first job we ever had was a $30,000 contract.
Yeah.
And we're like, what?
We didn't make 30,000.
I didn't make $30,000 a year.
Yeah.
And the first thing we did was a 30.
Oh yeah, you were. I keep forgetting.
I made $15 an hour. I mean,
Right.
no, I didn't even make $15 an hour yet.
Yeah.
As a maintenance guy. So, like, we go look at the house in Canton, and we're like walking through it, and we're like just taking notes, and we got these legal pads, and we're like, this, and we came up with a quote, and he was like, no, fuck no, because we gave him a quote for like $50,000 with materials, and he was like, fuck no, like, we're not, that is way too much money.
Ooh,
and
this makes me want to jump ahead.
And we were like, okay, $20,000, $30,000, was it $20,000 or $30,000? I think it was 20. I think it was 20.
I think it was
for the
20,
labor.
but a lot
20 grand for the
happened.
labor.
A lot happened. It's hard to remember because a lot happened,
Oh
and I
my
think we
God.
made. I want to say we made 12 or 15.
Yeah.
But we had like
It went to shit so
we had
fast.
like $10,000 or $12,000 in losses that year. And
Yeah.
luckily, thank God for the IRS, we got paid back. But
Yeah.
yeah,
Dude, we lost a lot of money. But, like, it was expected that we were going to lose money in the first couple of years of the business.
Of course,
and,
that's how it goes.
But we didn't know we were getting into business with a freaking psychopath
Well,
who liked to cuckold a guy in a cage while he banged his wife. Like,
facts.
that guy. I don't even remember the guy's real name. Do you remember the guy's real name? He went by Toby.
We gotta stop name dropping. Dude.
He went by Toby. We didn't name
Stop.
drop anybody. He went by Toby.
You name dropped every one of my friends.
What?
We gotta calm down.
They're,
Calm down.
By complimenting them and saying we regret treating them.
You're great people.
I love Jake and Scotty. I
I do
adore them
too.
like I do. Like
I haven't talked to Jake in a
cousins.
long time. I gotta try to reach out to him more.
Yeah,
He's a
whatever.
good guy, good man.
Fucking Toby coming over to dig out the bushes for free, and we're like, dude, this is our work. Get the fuck out of here.
Right.
Like, we're flipping this house. Why are you here for free? Because you like this. You like this guy banging your wife. You're gonna do some work for him. Why he locks you in a cage? Like, get the fuck out of here, Toby.
That's weird.
And that wasn't his name. It was like it was a Roots thing. Like, they were like, he was going by Toby like he was a slave, like from Roots.
I didn't know that.
Yeah.
Yeah.
That's why he went by, whatever. That situation was so fucking stupid.
Yeah.
I wish we would have just worked with the other guy. The other guy that was involved in that, he was a real businessman. He wasn't this personality that wanted to be the next, like, Pawn Stars fucking guy that, like, just big loud TV personality.
I'm gonna be honest with you.
This fucking 7-foot wide billboard he wanted us to put up in the yard.
There's a twist to this that I'd like to put out there too, though. Is that I feel like, and I'm not trying to. This isn't anything negative, so don't get offended. I don't think you will, but I'm gonna say it because I want to say it, and I think it needs to be said.
Say it.
You were a child.
I was 20.
Yeah.
Yeah, I was 20.
So like
dude.
your interactions with Greg was gonna milk you till he fucking You know what I'm saying? And it's
That's why
funny.
he didn't talk to you.
Huh?
That's why he didn't talk to
Yeah,
you.
until you guys until you burnt bridges with him, and then I don't think I ever told you this, but he called me. I was in the parking lot at Home Depot. I think I was returning some shit.
Yeah.
And I was fucking 5 a.m. and he calls me, and I'm like, oh no, he's gonna sue us
Yeah.
or something, right?
That was the fear.
That was the fear, because it's like he threatened it, right? He was like, fuck you guys, and we're like, well, wait a minute,
It
like
had
there's
nothing
no
to do with the work.
there was no contract, there
It
was
had
no
nothing to do with the
we
work.
had
it
a
was
simple
only personality.
We had a bill of, well, not bill of materials. What do they call that? The scope of work.
Yeah.
And we did 1,000 things other than that.
In addition to it.
Not even in addition. It wasn't even the same shit that he wanted done originally.
Yeah.
I mean, half of it. When we had a demo of the basement. Well, I don't want to get into all the semantics because no one's gonna care. But he called me and he's like, "Look, he's like, you're older. You know more of this that." I was like, he's like, you're mature, you know, you handle things well, you know, I'd like to pursue with you. Your brother can't be a part of it. And I go, this is my brother's idea.
Yeah.
I wouldn't do that to him.
Yeah.
I'll go back and work my machinist job and make a good living doing that.
Yeah.
And that's what I did. So I think what it was is that you were young and he was taking advantage of you, and he kind of looked at you as just this young punk, and he didn't take us seriously for that reason.
Yeah.
And I think,
in hindsight, that's probably why he picked us to do the job, because he was like, I can take advantage.
well,
of these
long
two
story
idiots.
short, he spent over, I think, $120 on that
120,000 on a house that sold.
Oh,
for
I'm sorry. Yeah,
250.
yeah. So
Just in the flip. That's not
yeah.
even including the price.
So-
They bought the house for $180,000. They spent over $100,000 flipping the house, and they sold it for $215,000.
Yeah.
After we called it quits. We
And that
convinced
had
the
nothing to do
plumbers.
with us, ladies
We
and gentlemen.
convinced the plumbers, the electricians.
Yeah, he hired a bunch of random people to do.
We
other
convinced the
work.
plumbers and the electricians to fucking dip out of there because he was crazy.
Yeah.
We're out. Fuck this guy. I'm
Right.
done. And we dipped out. They hired another company come in and redo work that we did.
They redid the flooring. I know that.
That was the only thing.
That's the
floor.
only thing.
And they redid the floors.
Yeah.
They
Actually,
said- and maybe doors or something.
yeah.
Whatever. I don't
wanna get
care.
into the details.
Point is,
Yeah.
they spent like $400,000 total on a house they sold for $215,000.
Oops.
So we made money.
Yeah, we actually turned out good on that one.
Yeah.
Now that I think about it.
Yeah. But it was toxic, man.
So did Scott, and, you know, our brother-in-law. I think it sucks because, and this is something
And me
I'm
and- and
learning.
me and-
When you're going through a lot of stress like that, it's so hard to not get shitty with people,
Yeah.
even your friends or even your
I
coworkers.
know, well, that's the
people
thing, that's-
working under you.
I've talked with. I just had knee surgery,
Yeah.
and I've talked about this a million times. Like, running does so much for me mentally that, like, I'm unshakable. Like, you can't shake me up if I'm running. Like, my brain is clear and it's logical, and the undertones of like stress and anger are gone.
Yeah.
When we were running that company, I remember being so pissed at Scotty because he stepped in a bucket of paint. I remember being so pissed I wanted to fire him. It's not even a big deal. It's not even a thing that's worth talking about.
Right.
But he was painting and he was just like in the zone,
Yeah.
and he stepped in his own tray of paint and got paint on the carpet and like covered his his shoe with paint. And I was so fucking mad because it was just another thing that we had to worry about.
Yeah.
And it's like, dude, it has nothing to do with Scott. It has
Yeah.
nothing to do with Scott.
Right.
Scott stepping in the paint. It just means that there was one more thing that I go, okay, do we have to replace the carpet in that room? Can we get the carpet clean? Do I need to buy you boots? Like, what? Like, do we have enough paint now? You know what I mean? It was just
Right.
like another source of stress. My reaction, where I like lashed out at Scott, had nothing to do with Scott.
Right.
My reaction was, I'm so spread thin,
Yeah.
stressed out, trying to figure out how to
So
do this, how to make this company successful. That like
But people-
one more
the
thing
thing- the
was
thing
like
is those
impossible to get past.
people aren't gonna ever understand that.
Yeah,
No one's gonna get unless they're in their shoes.
yeah.
No
And
one's
being
gonna get
20
that.
years old and
And
like,
by the way, they
super immature.
probably every one of my friends that have been involved with bands, businesses that we've started or that I've personally tried to pursue,
yeah.
I guarantee you they hold it against me, and they always will.
It
And
doesn't
that's
matter.
But I'm gonna tell you why it doesn't matter to me. I'm the one who started it. I'm the one who tried.
What is that, Sebastian Maniscalco?
I don't think that's what that was not what I was.
I'm the one that did it.
No, I was thinking more like Batman. Batman's shitty secret voice.
I mean, I'm
just kidding. I actually feel terrible. I do feel terrible, and there's a lot of guilt in that.
We had a lot of good times though too. Man.
Yeah,
like we laughed, we ate really good food, like we cooked all the time. We fucking had a blast. We shit talked each other.
But people take it to
so much fun.
People hold on to being offended way too much.
Yeah.
Like
and thank God Scott's not like that.
I don't think so. I don't know. I feel
I talked to him like I was saying, like when I thought that he was trying to get paid twice for the same week, that was I thought that's what happened, but it wasn't like that at all. I just fucking misinterpreted what happened.
Yeah.
And so I was like, "What the fuck? You trying to get away with something?" He was like, "Get away with what? Like, what are you talking about?" And but then I reached out to him pretty soon after that and was like, "Dude, I don't know what the fuck I was thinking.
Right.
Like I've known you my whole life. I don't know why I don't know why I thought you would do that to me."
Yeah.
And he was like, "It's cool, man. Like, I get it. You were stressed out. You guys had a lot on your plate. Like," and he was super reasonable about it. And I felt bad.
I think when you get into these positions of controlling, when you get into positions of controlling the money, and controlling the finances and controlling the entire operation, dude, you feel like everyone could be your, like with a flip of a switch.
It feels like everybody's your enemy. It's like going through a divorce.
Right. Everybody could be your enemy.
It's like all of a sudden, all these people who were my friends.
Yeah.
Are now my enemies.
So now simple mistakes seem like you getting railed, right? And you're like,
man.
But that's why I don't really want to own a business. I don't think I could do it again. Not like that. Not like that.
No.
I don't have the personality for it, and I don't have the mental fortitude.
Yeah.
I worked with some people doing some other work that was beside. I don't want to get into details, and let's not name drop, please.
Yeah.
But I work with some people. They'll know if they see this, and they're great people. Love those guys.
Yeah.
And I'll have to say they were so patient with me.
Mm-hmm.
I was so terrible at it, and I screwed up so much shit. And I'm sure they would talk shit. They would go in the office, I'm sure, and be like, "Dude, fuck this guy. This is insane."
Yeah.
But I'm telling you what. But
they
gave me a lot of time. I just wasn't making enough money. I had to move on. I had to go back to what I do.
Yeah.
But good for them. Those are the people that have the mental fortitude to do that work.
Yeah. I'm not in a place where
If I was in their shoes, I'd be like, "Get the fuck, bye.
Get out of the fucking way."
I know. I'd be like, "Don't come tomorrow.
Yeah.
Don't ever come back.
Yeah.
Don't ever come back."
I don't.
'Cause
I
I
don't have
know-
that personality.
Right.
I've worked with journeymen in my trade as
Yeah.
a pipe fitter, where I'm like, "Dude, you're too slow for me.
Yeah.
Get the fuck out of the way.
Right.
Get out of the way. You don't know what you're doing. This isn't obvious to you. Get out of the way. You got to get out of the way. We have to get this done, and you're in the way.
Yeah.
Get the fuck out of the way." You know what I mean? And like,
That's aggressive.
and it's like, well, yeah, but you have to, dude. We're in a man's world, man.
Right.
We're in a fucking man's world, and like,
Yeah.
I don't care.
I agree with you on that.
We're in a world.
I agree with you on that
where-
because we were raised to be that way. Honestly, I think we have this. I think we were raised to be like, no bullshit. Like, this has to get done. I don't give a fuck if your feelings are hurt.
Yeah.
And that has ruined so many of my relationships.
yeah.
My
for sure.
friendships,
For
everything.
sure.
I mean,
Well, it's
nobody's
because
nobody's trying to
the
reach out to me
irony
from
of
20, 15.
The
20 years
irony
ago.
of the way that we were raised
Yeah.
is that we were raised to be super accountable. That's ironic, dog. No, but we were raised to be accountable.
Yeah.
So like when you try to hold men accountable, like, hey, you've been doing this how long? You don't understand that these are the next steps? What do you mean you want to use this kind of valve on this system? Do you not understand these systems?
Yeah.
You can't do that. You can't throttle with a ball valve. You know what I mean?
Right.
Or whatever the situation is. And it's like, how do you not understand that a plug valve's got the seal is made by grease? How do you not know that? How do you not know that you're fucking leaking natural gas all over me and you want me to strike an arc, motherfucker? You know, like that stuff. And then you hold people accountable and it's off-putting. People don't like that.
Yeah.
People don't like being held accountable.
Right.
They get offended by it, especially when there's titles involved. Like, oh, you're
Yeah.
a 10th period apprentice and you're trying to hold me accountable.
Yeah.
Yeah, I'm holding you accountable, motherfucker. You're trying to kill me because you don't know what you're doing.
Yeah. No, I agree with that.
Yeah, how have you been doing this since the 90s? You don't know what
Right.
the fuck you're doing yet.
Yeah.
Pay attention or get bent, bitch.
Yeah.
Like, get
Well,
out of here.
By the way, this is every trade. That's not that. I mean, that's every trade. Thankfully, I don't have to worry about that as much anymore.
Yeah, you don't have to. Well, you also don't have to worry about partners as much as I do, dude. Being in the trade that I'm in, I'm one-on-one with another man. Sometimes weeks, sometimes for years.
Yeah.
Where it's like, dude, me and so are fucking partnered up, and if we don't jive, it might suck for a long time.
No, that's understandable.
It might suck for years, man.
I mean, you kind of have that with shifts, and I mean, you have like guys just do their thing.
But you're as a machinist, you're problem solving alone for the most part.
For the most part.
For the most part, and then maybe you'll have to reach out to somebody like, hey, this is this setup or let's line up or whatever's not going right. When, as a pipe fitter, man, if we're just doing if we're just doing hangers, just doing simple shit like, hey, these are our elevations, let's do hangers, just go.
Right.
I might have to rely on a guy who's in his 60s who like stares at his phone and drinks coffee and thinks he's beyond actually doing the work anymore. To be my ground guy and my cutting guy and my hanger guy while I'm up in the air putting the work in. And then I come down and I'm like, what the fuck, you don't have hangers for me yet? I just put in 20 in the air. I put 20 hangers in the air. You don't have hangers built yet? You don't know what we're doing yet? You don't know that there's a turn? You don't know that there's an elevation change? Alright, let me unclip my harness. Let me climb out of the basket. Let me walk over to the headache shack and look at the print for you. Which you should be doing all of that while I'm in the air.
Yeah.
But instead of doing that, you're looking at your phone, or drinking your coffee, or you're shooting the shit with the laborer chick because she's cute, she's got a nice ass, instead of paying attention to the job. Yeah. So then, like, you start to feel resentment, like, motherfucker, like, I'm a 10th period apprentice, you're making, $17 an hour more than me.
Right.
And I'm telling you what's happening next. Like, it's hard to keep your mind straight and not get resentful of people that you feel like should be further along or better at it than you are. Or maybe they should hang it up. They should hang their boots up, but they're not going to do it yet because they can't afford to.
Right.
So they're just showing up and they're drinking their coffees and they're fucking hanging out with the hot laborer chick and they're not doing the job anymore.
Well,
you're like, hey, I get it. You served your time. I get it. You've been doing this since the 90s. You've been doing this since the 80s. I get it. You can chill a little bit.
Yeah.
But, like, also, you still have to do something, especially when you're making more money than me. And I'm turning all the wrenches and I'm sweating and I'm in the hot-ass ceiling. And I'm putting my body in between hard places that I can get pinched and killed in. And you're fucking off. You're fucking off.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? It's like it's hard to keep yourself in the right mindset. Like, dude, I respect that you have this much time, man, but I need you. What have you done for me lately? It's like we're still showing up. We're getting paid right now. What have you done for me lately? I'm glad you did something 10 years ago, but what did you do today? And so it's like it's hard to keep your mind right, and you're like, dude, like, all right, chill out. You don't know what's going on.
Well, I mean,
you don't know what's going on.
Also,
at home for them.
I mean, I get what you're saying, but you're coming off in a way that's like, I mean, you're coming off in a way when you say these things that's like, I totally can relate, and to some degree. Obviously, I never had like direct partners in most of the things I've done, but I can relate in the personalities and the do-nothings and the people that are obsessed and do too much.
Yeah.
I think what it comes down to, though, is learning how to navigate those people is so... I'm telling you what, you could know nothing about any trade, and if you can navigate people, you will do well.
It's the hardest part of the trade.
It's the hardest part of anything.
Hardest
you can
part of the
navigate
trade.
people and just learn their quirks, learn how they are, learn where they're going to fuck off, and learn where they're going to do too much, and learn where they're going to say too much, learn where they're not going to say enough, right? When you can learn those things and learn how to navigate those and roll with those punches and kind of go, all right, well, yeah, but we all know how this goes, right? Yeah, and then you just it forms an expectation, and at that point you can have open, not open conversations like talk and smack, but like at that point you can have those conversations with people that know and go, yeah, like this happened and this guy did this, and they're like, yeah, I mean, that's literally this guy 101, right? That is his personality, that's who he is, that's how he is with everyone. But then if you can learn to use that to your advantage and go, all right, well, this guy's gonna kill it doing this, that's where, which sucks because that's where
personality types.
That's where decent management comes into play, and management hardly ever does their jobs. Because their jobs is to do those things. Yeah. Their job is to go, hey, look, he's not good at this, but he's really good at this. Yeah. Let's have him do a lot of that.
Right.
Holy fuck.
Right.
Imagine how much would how much easier your work life would
being
be.
able to manage personality types is
Yeah.
the biggest part of any trade. And like,
Right.
there's guys in my local, you know, I'm a union fitter. There's guys in my local that are, everyone knows are big personalities or they're weird personalities, and people don't like working with them, or they're not really productive working with them. And they'll be like, hey, listen, I'm going to lean on you, but you're going to be my logistics guy.
Yeah.
I need you to deliver material to these locations for these installers. And the reason I'm going to have you do it is because I can trust you to do that, because you have a lot of experience and you know what these guys are going to need. When really it's kind of a manipulative thing to do, but it's like, hey, let's take this guy who people don't want to work with because he's a weirdo,
Yeah.
or he's a big personality, or he talks too much, and he's going to slow down these A-type personalities that, like, I mean, there's some guys that come in, they're like big dick swing, and they're like, hey, those two guys, they're going to get fucking pipe up.
Yeah.
Keep those guys busy. You know what we need to do? We need to get the guy that talks too much and get him working with the operator and get him just dropping material off to the guys that are going to install shit fast.
Right.
You know? And like,
Yeah.
and he might have all the experience in the world, but because his personality is so extreme, you have to keep him away from the guys that are able to do it also,
Right.
but are not going to talk so much.
Right.
They're not going to be off-putting to guys that, you know, I mean, there's some weird personalities in my trade, man. There's guys that are like I'm not working with that motherfucker.
That's
you know?
everywhere though.
For sure. But like, if management is doing what they're supposed to do, if your foreman, your
Yeah.
general foreman, your superintendents are doing what they're supposed to do,
Yeah.
they pay attention to what personality types are on the floor, and you go, hey, Matt's an A-type personality. As long as you don't get him with someone that he really loves. Like
Yeah.
if I love my partner, dude, we're not doing shit. We're not gonna do anything because we're gonna fucking talk and talk and
Yeah.
talk. But if you get me with someone that
A little
kind
bit
of
of
don't
that's
like,
cool, man. A little bit of that's cool. Some of that's needed because honestly, that dude, I don't know. It's different. Maybe it's different for you because in the company I'm with right now has gone through some really rocky times, and man, those are what kept me there.
Those guys.
Oh, those guys.
yeah,
that just
but you gotta
those guys I
you gotta
can
understand on
openly go fuck this place, fuck this dude, fuck that dude,
Yeah.
and not have to worry about losing my job.
Yeah,
Those guys kept me working.
yeah. Those guys are not unimportant.
Yeah, but when
dude, like, there's a guy that I jive
I don't.
with.
I also don't work with those the people like that at my trade work their ass off too. So I don't have like this extreme. Oh, I talk a lot and I'm a likable guy, but I don't work.
Yeah.
That doesn't happen.
There's a guy that works at my company who I jive with. Like, me and him are like best friends.
Yeah.
We don't work directly together anymore.
Right.
And I like that because that means like not like me and the guy that I was working with before I went to go have surgery. Me and the guy that I work with is the guy. My partner is the superintendent's dad,
Yeah.
and he's a great fucking guy. Hilarious stories, but we're also serious about our jobs. Like, we really care about our jobs, and like we make sure that we're getting. Like, he wants to make sure that he's producing for his son because he wants his son to look good. But we're also both really serious about our jobs. Like, we love and we take pride in our jobs. Me and him work together better. We get more footage up, and we get harder stuff done quicker than me and the other guy who, like, me and him are like best friends because we could talk for 8 hours.
Right.
And do nothing and be like, I don't feel shit.
Right.
I don't feel guilty about this, dude. I served my time.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? But like, when me and the superintendent's dad are working together, it's like, hey, we got to get something up. Let's get this done. Let's make our foreman look good. Let's make the superintendent look good because we're busting our asses. But when we're doing good, we know we can take a minute to tell stories. You know what I mean?
Right.
And like, dude, that's the kind of balance that I'm looking for in work, where it's like I'm in a good place mentally while
Yeah.
I'm there, but we're also like going home feeling satisfied. Like, dude, I showed up and I fucking did something.
Right.
Like, I didn't just show up and serve my time of
Yeah.
a prison sentence. I showed up and I accomplished something.
Yeah, for sure.
You know, and it's to find a balance in that where, like, we're doing this because you and I have an insatiable itch for creativity.
Yeah.
And that's why we had music, that's why we had art, that's why we had all these different endeavors that we've had our whole lives. But to find that, to scratch that itch at work is huge for me.
Right.
But the thing is that most of the time that itch is not scratched at work. I don't
Yeah.
have that creative energy satisfied at work most of the time, because it's not like my job doesn't take that much mental effort. It's like reading a blueprint most of the time, pretty straightforward, and then actually installing, especially big systems, big installs.
Yeah.
It's like just go up and turn wrenches, man. You can be zoned out listening to a podcast and be like, oh yeah, I just put up 100 hangers.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? It's not to say that my job's not hard sometimes. Sometimes it's hard as fuck.
Right.
Sometimes it's really hard, and
Yeah.
sometimes you're in positions that like no other man would want to be in. You're in the PLTCM, and you're covered in sludge, and you're working underneath a furnace where you're getting hot fucking steel dripped on you while you try to do a job. You're downhill welding some 30-inch pipe that you're dropping slag on your arm and burning the shit
That's
out
way
of
more
yourself.
intense than what I have to deal with.
Sometimes,
Yeah.
but sometimes I'm doing a tubing job where it's 3/8 inch tubing,
Yeah.
and so I'm just doing like basic bitch ass trigonometry all day, and then I bend, and then I clamp, and then I bend, and then I clamp, and then I tighten up my couplings, and that's the end of it. And it's everything's
Right.
light and easy and clean, and I go home with no burns, and my ears aren't ringing because I wasn't working underneath a fucking huge conveyor all day. I mean, sometimes it's hard, sometimes it's not, man. But to try to get to try to get satisfaction out of my day of work, and go home feeling like, damn, I was functioning right at the peak of my mental capabilities all day. Which, if you talk to any psychologist, you don't want a job that's too easy for you. You're gonna be miserable. You wanna be just around the peak of what you can handle to feel satisfied mentally by your job.
Yeah.
I don't get that. I don't get that as a pipe fitter. I don't get that. Some days I do,
Yeah.
but the majority of the time I don't. And that's why we have this endeavor where it's like, I'm scratching an itch, man. I get to be
Right.
creative. I get to do some interior designing to design this set. We get to do some tech.
Well,
We get to scratch some
yeah.
tech itch where we're like, hey, let's research microphones. Let's research
Right.
interfaces. Let's research cameras. Let's research how to, you know what I
Right,
mean? Like
right.
this is
There's
so
knowledge
mentally
embedded in it,
satisfying
for sure. Yeah.
and that and that's regardless of like what having long open form conversations with my brother is going to do for me mentally.
Right.
But and like this is scratching all kinds of itches that I don't get at work,
Yeah.
you know.
Yeah. You know, I mean, we recently talked on the phone for a while, and we were talking about work, and we were talking about how it's like it is just it has changed drastically for me. It is not a representative of who I am. It's literally just a means to provide for the things I want to do
Outside of
it. And then
In
not
your
saying
actual
that not
life.
saying that my like heart and mind isn't into it. It is, but it's not. I'm not upset. I'm not.
it's not
into,
who you are. It's not your identity.
No.
Yeah.
You know how many days I wake up and go, why can't I just like be a baker and wake up at 4 a.m. and go bake some bread?
Yeah. Do
Honestly,
something that you're passionate about.
I literally have driven to work with that thought. Like, man, would I be cool with taking
Dude, so we had a
a
Halloween.
$60,000 pay cut to just?
We
bake
had a
bread?
Halloween party last
Maybe.
night,
Yeah.
and I took a video I put on our Instagram of like what my house looked like at the end of the night because it was like all lit up. It looked fucking sweet with the
Right.
with the fog or whatever. But we had a fog machine and these Wi-Fi lights, so like it was like red, green, purple, blue, like all throughout my house. It looked fucking cool.
Right.
Anyway, we had a Halloween party, and I met this guy Matt, who's like my girlfriend's cousin's boyfriend, whatever.
Yeah.
Good guy, funny. We had a lot of laughs last night. But we were talking about this, man, and it's like, dude, if I made what I make as a fitter to do something I'm passionate about, I would never be a pipe fitter. I would never show up to another day of pipe fitting. And I was like, you know what? To compound on that, if I made fucking half of what I make as a pipe fitter,
Yeah.
you would never see me again as a pipe fitter. If I made half doing something I was passionate about,
Oh, for sure.
you would never see me on another
Yeah.
pipe fitting job. I'm okay with pipe fitting.
Yeah.
That's it. That's it.
Yeah.
I'm okay with doing that without feeling like I'm gonna eat a pistol because I'm a pipe fitter.
Whoa.
I'm never gonna eat a pistol
Yeah.
because I'm a pipe fitter.
Right.
It's okay. Like it's like I like it enough to be okay with it for a living.
See, it's
but
weird.
But
It's
to
weird that
have
we're so.
passion.
I agree with this, but I'm also disagree because personally, I've had this conversation with someone at work. They were talking about the lottery, and they're like, "If you won the lottery, what would you do? Would you obviously wouldn't come back here?" And I go, "That's not true." And he goes, "What do you mean?" I go, until I can do my passions 24/7,
Yeah.
I gotta have something to do.
Yeah.
Even if I don't need the money, I gotta
But if you
go
had
work.
the freedom to do, if you were so if you were born of a family where making an income is not necessary at all, you're a fucking Rothschild or some
I
shit.
wouldn't. I don't think I would have the mental fortitude to be as work as hard as I do on my.
But you would
personal
find something that
endeavors.
you're passionate about, and then you would spend your time, energy, and money pursuing that.
I don't think.
Like
I don't
dude, I've
think
been on disability for
there's not a lot
month
of.
'cause I had surgery.
I'll be honest with you. I don't think that. I don't think that that's how that works.
I have to pee so bad,
All right.
yeah. Hold on, I gotta pee. Hold that thought. I gotta pee. Drink your drink.
I'm working on it, man. I'm going slow. I'm going slow.
I don't understand how you not have to pee. That was a good pee. Okay, so to go back to what we were talking about.
Yeah.
Because I had to pee and I couldn't. I was going cross-eyed because.
Okay, so if money didn't matter, I
Yeah.
wouldn't have the work ethic that I have to do my music. Because I'll lose sleep. I'll go to work without sleeping for 3 days just to work on a song. I wouldn't do that for work. I wouldn't do that for anything else.
But I think you're agreeing with me while like framing it like
No,
you're
I'm
disagreeing.
saying the only reason I do that is because I have the work ethic to get it done, and I have very limited time. I work like 60, 70 hours a week. If I had all the time in the world and my day was just slowly crawling out of bed at 11 p.m. after partying all night, and all I had to do was do like a couple things today,
Yeah.
every day for the rest of my life, why would I? Why would I do anything? Why would I? Even if
I
funds
see, I
were,
don't agree
even if
with
funds
that,
were,
man. I feel like
that's because you're coming from a place of limited time,
yeah.
a high work ethic. It all comes from struggle.
So
And also, I wouldn't be writing the music I do. My music comes from a place of struggle.
yeah.
My music comes from a place of emotional disdain and disruptions and life problems. It doesn't. If I was a rich kid, I'd be making pop music just to I mean, I guess that's.
I don't agree with that. You are who you are, regardless of your money. Some people might consider you rich.
I am who I am.
And be like,
of
how do you
my
have any
environment.
pain when you like? How do you have any pain when your life was so much better than mine?
I'm not saying there'd be no pain. That's not what I mean.
No, I know,
I'm
but there's
saying-
people who think that there's people who would think that growing up, yeah, I finished mine.
No, it was loud when you said that down.
So,
It echoed for a while.
oh.
Yeah.
There's people
Sorry.
who had such a different life than we did that they would be like, why does this guy write melancholic, painful music when he had such a better life than I did? So I reject your premise
That's
that if you came from a rich family, you wouldn't have anything interesting to say. I
I'm
don't
saying it'd
agree
be
with
harder to have the work ethic and the struggle and the. You can't write it's like when people write the blues. Like I'll give you a good example. Some of the bands we listen to, metal bands, are like really intricate progressive metal bands.
that. Yeah.
Okay, not like the rock star ones, but the ones that are like virtuoso. I guarantee those guys have barely had a struggle in their lives. They sat in their room and played until they got so good that that's all they knew.
You're talking like math.
No,
metal.
just I'm just saying like there's people who but the problem with that is it's so mechanical. It becomes a mechanical thing. It's like I've honed in this skill. There's no
Yeah.
soul. There's no
We
spirit.
were talking
in it.
about this earlier.
It's spiritless.
You were talking about
The spirit comes
a piano
from struggle.
player being told like you're playing it perfectly, and that's not the point.
Yeah, exactly.
And
like some pieces were written with pauses. Some pieces were written with pauses that aren't in time. Like you're like when you listen to my music, you're like, oh, I like it, but like wow, like I don't know what to do with it. I don't know how to process it sometimes, and it's because you're a drummer.
yeah,
Well, I should have prefaced this. My first album has a lot of drumming on it. A lot of it was written to beats and stuff. But the stuff I'm doing now is more piano compositions and stuff of that nature. Which was, oh, I guess it's done.
I guess we're over.
Yeah. It said, we don't care about your music, Chris. Did it die or did it just get full?
I think it died.
Hell yeah.
Shit, this thing's fucking so hot.
Why would it get hot?
I don't know.
Well, that's weird. I guess we can pause the Zoom.
Yeah, the video is going to be separate from the audio anyway, right? Like, we'll put out the video podcast, but most of what our RSS feed is going to be
Charger now.
low battery.
Yeah.
Okay. And it goes right back to recording. I wonder if I should have had it plugged in. Whatever. Most of our RSS feed is going to be audio anyway, so we got hopefully that video saved. I think there's a lot of shit that we could have clipped out of that. So, yeah, hopefully that's all usable.
We'll find out. I mean, if not, it's a conversation with audio, and
Yeah.
It's a learning experience. We've got to change our.
I think we're doing good too for being the first episode. I think this is going a lot better. Well, we tried, and then we went and did a shot, ate a piece of pizza, and came back with some mixed drinks, and now I think that was a lot better.
Loosening up is important for me in any social experience.
Okay. Is it? No.
Public service announcement.
In case you were wondering.
In case you were all wondering, if you want Chris to loosen up, feed him some bread and olive oil and garlic expressions. Give him some vodka, and he'll be feeling good.
I think I'm charging this on a fucking charger for headphones.
It should be okay. I don't think it has a specific. I don't know. I don't know how that works. I don't know if it takes a specific charger.
I've got a. That doesn't matter. Fucking yeah, that was surprising because I thought it was going fine. Hopefully it saved everything that came up.
Yeah.
I have a laptop charger that's a USB-C that's pretty powerful, and maybe I should use that because it would charges things really quickly. So
I don't know how. Well, when you have those.
But might
those
damage
power
it.
packs, yeah, that's what I mean. Those power packs might be too much for it. Yeah. It's already warm. You don't want to blow it up. I got a phone charger that makes my phone blazing hot, and it scares me every time I charge.
Yeah, it's not even turning on. I gotta let it just charge for a while. But yeah, that kind of sucks. I was hoping that we could record the whole episode at once, and
Yeah, that's okay.
yeah, it's a learning experience, dude. This is the first episode, and I don't know. I think we're doing good. Like, we have a nice looking set. We got mics that sound good. We're dialing in how we do this.
Yeah.
I don't know that like getting sloshed is the way to do it every time, but I'm feeling pretty. I'm fucking saucy. I'm a little saucy, but I'm feeling good, man. And I think that made a big difference. Like when we the first 20 minutes that we did, and it was like we were being real fucking stiff. And yes, absolutely, yeah, that's correct. And it's like, what are we doing, man? That's not how we talk. We talk like regular fucking skater dipshits. We're but we also try to put it in the veil of being introspective and like, hey, let's problem solve these ideas,
Right.
you know, and think about like, is there something that we can do to improve our perspective the next time we run into this kind of situation? You know what I mean? And yeah, I mean, like, dude, fucking, I feel good about this. I feel good. I think that we'll be able to put out decent, interesting podcasts without sacrificing too much. You know what I mean? Like I don't think this is such a major, dude. Like music is such a major commitment. Writing songs, practicing songs, recording songs, and it's like, dude, there's so much to it. But like you and I just talking is like, it's pretty consequence free. You know what I mean? Like
This has taken nothing out of me.
yeah.
When I write a song, dude, I could sleep for 3 days. It's so exhausting.
Let's see what this thing's saying now. It's fucking beeping.
I shouldn't say song, really, piece of music. Even just writing music without lyrics or singing or any of that stuff is a lot of work.
So it did save the video, but now it's gonna fucking turning on and off. Let me grab that fucking. I'm gonna go grab that laptop charger. Maybe I can get that thing fucking.
I don't know if that's a great idea.
Should I just unplug it so it stops beeping?
What time is it? It's not late, right? We started pretty early.
We started pretty early. It's 4:20, 4:22.
Wow.
We did an hour and a half. We're at an hour and a
What I
half.
think we should do.
Pause, take a break, and do another episode.
Either that or just come back to it, and whether or not the first one means anything or becomes anything, it was excellent practice, dude. We talked really well, and we
Yeah.
well, not really well. I don't want that's not the right word. We had a great conversation,
Yeah.
and it went really smooth. I wore the headphones the whole time, and everything sounded great.